Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah. Wow. It's good. We all have a little bit to add. Okay, what do you got? Let's go.
How are your running backs doing?
We got a little walkthrough done so far, and Tony Jones looks really good.
He's the only one in it?
No, we got other guys going. We had all kinds of guys going. Homer looked good today in the walkthrough. He's going to practice today. That's a real positive for us. We won't practice Kenny or DJ today. We'll hold them back.
With Tony, I know Tony didn't play a ton so far, just the one game, but over the course of the last few weeks, practice, everything, what have you seen out of him?
He's real aggressive. He's a downhill guy, runs strong, catches the ball really well, is a good pass pro guy. He can do everything. He's got a good style about him. He's a physical, aggressive style. Remember I mentioned to you that you asked me the question like, hey, you going to bring anybody else in? And I said, no way. Yeah.
I wrote that obsolete story. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But, yeah, really. No, Wayne was, all of a sudden he's there, so that's good. My bad.
Could he realistically play in 3 days?
Yeah, he was about 1 out of 3 today and running plays the right way, so, we'll give him a start. We'll see what happens.
Run those 1 out of 3.
Pardon me?
Just run the one?
The one that he got right, yeah. He's an experienced guy, been around. He'll pick it up quickly.
How is Ken coming along?
He's doing everything he can. He's rehabbing all day long, every day, and doing everything that he can do to get right. I don't know that yet.
And how about Ryan Neal? How's he doing?
He went through the walkthrough and looked okay moving around. We'll take it easy on him today, though.
Would the injuries to the running backs ever change anything about your play calling as far as maybe looking for some of those shorter passes or swing passes to mimic a run game? If
We're going to do exactly that, yeah. No.
But how much consideration would that be in game plan?
It doesn't affect us.
When it comes to running backs on the other side of this one with Deontay Foreman, he's got a lot of yards after contact. What is it about his running style?
Oh, man, he's really hitting it downhill. They're really committed to the running game. Their style fits how he hits it. Breaking tackles, falling forward. Offensive line is really good, probably the best group we've seen. So they have the real commitment. And Coach Willis has done a really nice job taking over.
Do you see some similarities in like the way that they're built or the players that they go after, just given the ties that Scott Fitterer and Dan Morgan have here?
Yeah, there is some of that. Those guys have a big background of being together, and they always got along real well. They weren't at odds, guys differing opinions and stuff. So that's going to come out like that some.
Gallman had a really big game against you guys a couple years ago. Obviously, you remember that, I guess?
I did remember that, yes.
Just in general, what could he do?
He's got a nice style. He's a slash runner and hits downhill. Well-rounded. He can pass pro and he catches the ball well too. So he's a guy that has a chance. Has some special teams background in him too, which is an important factor as we move forward.
With Josh going on IR, is John Abrams ready for game action this week?
Yeah, he'll be ready if we need him.
Brian Burns, for them, what makes him so unique in his ability to...
He's a really, really good athlete, really athletic, and he's got the burst and the length and all that kind of stuff, but he's really athletic and he's real slippery in his pass rushes. He can get in and out of his spaces really efficiently. He has a really good motor. He really brings it, and he plays all the time. He's getting a ton of reps, and you can't rest on him at all. He'd take the edge in a heartbeat, so he's really a good player.
Did Joey get a chance to get any first-team snaps last week in practice, or was that all T's?
No, T's got most of them. He got almost all of them. I think Joey had a handful.
Pete, your offense is among the fewest 3 and outs this year. Even if you're not going down the field and scoring every time, how important is that getting some first down, staying on the field?
Yeah, we've just been efficient. We've done a lot of good things, and it has to do a lot with how Gino's managing the whole thing. And there's a better efficiency, that keeps you going, and when you need it, and so we look improved in that regard.
Is this recent stretch from DK and Tyler maybe as good as you've seen sort of them together? And
yeah.
What is it about?
Yeah, they practice so well every day. They're really disciplined about making the most of their reps, and so their timing that they're working out with Gino is. We see it every day. I've been raving about Gino's practice for a long time. Well, those guys are really, really on it. And I think they've found their rhythm of consistency and preparation that really allows for them to just go cut it loose in the games, and things are happening. You know, so it's been really fun to watch these guys.
Is there something about their two styles or their personalities or just their skill set?
They're really different. I mean, they're as different as night and day. You know, and we love everything about each one of them, you know, and I love the variety that we have with those guys, and when you throw Marquise into it, and he's flying around the field too, it's a nice group. It's a really good group. So, but I think that the consistency that DK has come to with his route running and all the catches that he's making, the tough catches that he's making in traffic or whatever, he's just been rock solid for us.
Better having two different style guys. Can that help an offense?
I like it. You know, I always like it just because with how we mix and match our matchups and stuff like that. And as long as you know what you can count on from the guys. And Tyler has such a huge range of things that he does so well. It's just fun to have the variety to mix.
Those guys obviously get a lot of credit for executing, but with Sanjay working with them, how has he helped just with some of those details in route running?
Yeah, Sanjay's got a wealth of background and experience, and he's really taken these guys to this level now that they're playing the best that they've played, and he just has a lot to add, wisdom and background and his demands, how he demands what they do and stuff. It's really sharp.
How much has Tariq grown in terms of like actually catching the ball when he's got a chance to make a play?
Who did you say? Tariq, he's got a habit. Every play that we take in practice, he catches the ball. He's got Sean Mannion working him out every day, and it just makes sense, that he's more confident, more comfortable, and Sean moves the ball around on him and stuff like that. He has improved his hands since he's been here with us, and he wanted to get a rhythm to his day that he could work on it, and we've fit it into practice, so it's pretty cool. It's after the play's over, he's coming back, boom, he's catching a football. He might catch a couple of them in that time frame, so he's repping it out, and he's really shown that it makes a difference.
You said it's usually Mannion that sort of gives him
Most
that
of the
extra.
time, yeah.
On run plays too?
Yep. I think it's every play they snap when he's catching the football.
Have you ever had a guy do that?
No.
And you said he asked to do that?
I think he generated it. Yeah, I think that's right. Sean might have coached him up a little bit. I don't know, but I thought Tariq did.
He's had all of this success come in, relatively quickly, considering he's a fifth-round guy. How have you seen him handle all that and all that's come with that?
He's been really appreciative, of that it's happening, and he's excited about it, and he's looking to find his ways to compete. He's developing the curiosity that really good players have to keep looking to try to figure out what can I do to do better. He's asked a lot of questions. He talks to everybody he can talk to. And he's just handled it really well. He's been very even-keeled about it. He gets mad when he gets beat, when he doesn't do something right or he misses a read or something like that, and he'll get frustrated with himself, but he seems to be bouncing back really well, which is a huge asset to a corner. And so at this early stage, for where he is, I think he's got it wired pretty good now. We just got to keep going, Each week's a new mystery to us to some extent, so we just got to see how he handles it.
DJ Moore, the numbers suggest that it's a down year for him. Is that actually the case when you watch him on the field?
No, it's because of their emphasis on running the football, and they're just not throwing the ball as much. But he's the star. He's the guy.
What have you seen out of their defense, especially since Wilkes took over? It seems like they've been pretty solid.
I think the whole team shows the change, and you can see there's a physicality about him that is, I'm sure what Steve's looking for. It's shifted. You can see it. Defensively, they continue to be aggressive. They've got a really good group. They had a ton of sacks last year, and they're still putting a lot of pressure on. It just shows that he's figured into their mentality and all that, and it's a good way to go.
Is there any commonalities you noticed there from the year he had with Arizona and the way that they played? Does that show up?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I think you can see in him. He has a way about it, and strong, and I don't know Steve very well. I just said hi to him, but I'm sure just the way his guys play, it screams about who he is and what he's all about. It's pretty impressive.
Look at the run defense last 3 weeks versus Bucks, Raiders, and Rams. Just what are you seeing?
Lots and lots of turns. Lots of reps. I mean, we've seen 40 reps a game almost. Of running game, and that'll speak to us getting off the field on third down in one regard, and then just we have to eliminate the explosive plays and keep those at a minimum. Play after play, we do some really good stuff, but there's been plays that have gotten away from us. And last week, there was some perimeter stuff. The quarterback kept the ball a little bit, and the flies and stuff like that got on the edge a little bit. Had a reverse issue, and it was a big play in the game for them. So there's just, we have to get rid of the explosives and make them just have to earn it. And so that's what we're stressing.
You mentioned the other day you made a lot of adjustments in that game after the first couple drives. What does that put on Jordan when you're adjusting things in game and he's the one out there?
Yeah, there's a number of guys that had to shift gears a bit. Fortunately, the coaches had worked on the stuff that we emphasized in the game during the week, and so we just needed to tell them, okay, we're going to play a bunch of it and see how it goes, and so there were some things we were tweaking along the way, and it was really impressive that we were able to pull it off. I thought we played really well after the first couple of drives. I liked the way we played. The first couple of drives, we didn't slow them down like we want to, but after that, they had a touchdown in the next 8 times they had the ball, so that's a pretty good outing.
Talk about his communication and handling that side of the job this year. Is a game like that a good example of that?
Yeah, and then he would be the first to tell you. I think he relies on Cody too. He and Cody work it out. They figure it out and solve the problems and transfer the communications along the line of scrimmage and all that. Those guys are a good team right now.
In general, thoughts on the opportunity ahead? The final stretch, 4 out of the last 5 games at home, just 1 game out of the division lead.
Just that it's 4 out of 5. That's all. I would recognize at this point. I mean, this game is enormous for us right now, and so we got to go get it and do whatever it takes to get that done. And then I'm going to be, in my mind, I'm going to be in the fourth quarter when we get to next week. We're not there yet.
You've talked about various target numbers on offense in the past. Is completion percentage for your quarterback one of those target numbers you have? And if so, what is it?
I don't know if maybe I haven't said this as much as I think that I've said it, but I've always expected us to be a 70% completion team. And that was the goal, and knowing how hard it is and how few times that happens, But that's always been, the expectation I've had, because we're trying to throw stuff that you can have those expectations. We're not chucking the ball over the yard and just hoping that, that we can hit stuff down the field. Everything is really designed to maximize efficiency, and so in complement with the running game, that's I've been saying that for a long time.
What's it say about Geno being at 70,
he's
73?
He's in it. He's doing it. It's exactly how we thought it could be, and he's in there right now. So, whether he can continue that or not, I don't know. But he has shown that he can run this offense, and he's in command of it, and he can maximize the principles and the concepts. And last week was a great example again.
Was he always that accurate in practices the last few years?
Yeah, he's always been really accurate. He's a tremendous thrower. I mean, his mechanics, the stroke that he has and the velocity that he has on the ball has always been impressive. And now that he's put together, his total command of the thing, that's why he's doing so well.
When everyone was healthy in the backfield, was Tony getting a lot of third down work?
In preparation, in practice? No, not a ton. He's in it. But we had to rep the guys that were playing, so. He takes a ton of it on the other side of the ball, but it's different. But he's doing fine. He'll do fine with his assignments and stuff. He's good at all that.
One more on Woolen. I can't remember if we asked you about the time that Sherman spent around him in the summer, but how do you think he has benefited from that?
I'd ask him. But it was cool to have Sherman out here and kind of clunking around with him. I thought it was really good, and I really didn't care what Sherman told him. I just thought him being around him would be a positive factor, and so I think it was.
Big Pete.
Team credit.
Tyler Lockett is the Man of the Year nominee for the Seahawks. There's so much that he's done on the field. Who are you proud of, and how he represents the organization off the field?
Yeah, first off, around us, his voice and his experience, which would lead to his wisdom, is really been apparent during this season. Maybe as much as ever. It is as much as ever, yeah, because it's the opportunity's been there, captain and all that kind of stuff. And he's really, I think he's affected more people in the program than he ever has. I mean, he's always been a marvelous competitor and performer, and we carry him off the field half the time for all the heroics that he's pulled off. But that's been really obvious, and it's cool to see that him emerge. His heart extends. I mean, he is the real deal. He's a great person. He's a great kid. He wants to help people. He's really creative. He's really creative, and I don't know how much you guys know about that, but he's really creative, and he has a creative mind about how to come up with ways to make things easier for people and recognize people in difficult situations and see what he can come up with. And he's really proud of his home, and so he likes to work and do things back home in Tulsa and all that. So he's a marvelous representative in this position. I'm glad you brought it up.
The way that the Panthers run the ball, is it similar to what how the Raiders do it too?
They're a little different. There's some similarities, yeah. There's only so many runs, so there's some similarities. The style of running that Foreman has, with Jake, pretty similar.
Hey, Pete, Gino, we see the 70% kind of completion, but what can you say just about his preparation and commitment to his craft, not only now but through all these years?
He hasn't changed. He hasn't changed. He's just doing what he always did. He was always using his imagination and picturing, I'm going to be in, I got to play, I got to get ready. And so he hasn't had to change anything. He's just extended it, other than the fact that he has to talk to you guys. He has to talk to the world as the guy in the position now, which he has just done a great job of. He's handled himself so well, been so humble, respectful, and on point, and creative and insightful. I mean, he's been all of that, in handling this. And so, but he hasn't changed. I don't see the change so much. He has more input. He's more involved in how we make our decisions and the stuff that fits and all of that. That I know he's really enjoyed and he takes part in. So that's pretty normal, though.
So none of his season has surprised you?
No, I didn't say that.
What has surprised you?
No, I think what surprises me is his command of the situation, the overall command of how he's handled it and all that. Like I've said to you, he's fiery. He's a fiery competitor, and that's a part of his game that he has to help work for him and not be a factor where it distracts him. And he's been able to do that, and then he's handled the position of being the starting quarterback for a successful team. And a lot of people are noticing it. It's pretty interesting.
How is John Radigan done in practice for you? Does he have a
John's
chance
ready
to
to
get
go.
back?
He's ready to go. Yeah, really excited about John, being back in action. He's looked great. He's really been fast, and the process must have been on point, because the day he came back a couple weeks ago, he was going. He could go, and he hasn't backed off one step the whole time. So we're counting on John helping us.
How did you think about how Michael Jackson and Trey played against the Rams?
We had everybody that played corner had a couple plays in the game that I can't ignore, that weren't like we want them. But Michael's playing really good football for us. He's done a terrific job. I mean, I think he's had an excellent season, and he wants to finish it off and finish it that way. Trey is coming back into the fold. We're trying to get him, alive and well and competing. And he's in the top 3 corners now. So that's he's already shown us that.
Still plan on rotating those two?
We'll see.
Logistically, on Mondays, do you show the whole team every play from the all 22 angle and the end zone, or does everyone just watch their side of the ball? Does the whole team watch the whole thing together?
No, they don't. No, they could on their own. We don't have time to do that. We watch our own stuff, but they'll see. During the course of the week, they'll see TV highlights, and they'll get a bunch of looks at the plays that we want to show them. There's always so many good angles and stuff, that highlight, what's going on. So we do that throughout the week, and all the way until Saturday night, we'll do that.
Just to clarify on DJ Dallas, he's got a chance to play this week?
If you talk to him, he does. He was kind of bouncing around today, so he didn't take any snaps in walkthrough, but his attitude is like exactly what you want. He's determined to get back. So we'll see what happens.
Anything else? Thank you.